Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Nearly a year and a half has passed since the Union Street fire, but local businesses are still trying to get on their feet. Good evening, I'm Katie Anderson. Thanks for joining us. Ongoing construction is making it difficult for business owners and shoppers in Uptown Athens. One lane on West Union Street has been blocked for nearly 18 months. This makes it hard for businesses on the other side of the road to keep their doors open. Andrew Homan has the story.
After Uptown Dog was lost in the fire, Mary Cheadle was lucky enough to move her business right across the street and reopen within a few months. Though she was on the same street, it's been difficult getting back to how it was before.
Nobody's walking down the street. If they can avoid it, they will. So we still have some good weekends, but the daily sales are definitely affected by all that's going on here.
The decrease in foot traffic and parking are making it difficult for her.
Honestly, to just stay above water at this point has taken all my time and energy.
The constructions put even more pressure on Meredith Allen. She opened Honey, a women's adult boutique, last September.
I think it's just kind of worrisome. You know, you're like, I wish that it was done so there were more people walking down this. I'm sure it would be busy without the construction.
Even with the construction and slow rebuilding process, Cheadle and Allen are both determined to keep their business on Union Street.
I'm glad. I want to be a part of getting it back together.
This is the third location for Uptown Dog, but Cheadle wants to keep it here.
I want to be part of the regrowth of Union Street. I want to be part of, how great this street is going to become after this historic fire.
Allen says she's heard that at least one more business in the construction area could open by the end of this semester. That kind of progress is giving her hope that business in the area will begin to grow.
And Cheadle may have a bigger role in the new Union Street. She says she's thinking about opening a second business where Uptown Dog was before the fire. More than 10,000 people are homeless in Ohio, but it's not only a problem in our state, it's a problem right here in Athens County. Representatives from several organizations are trying to combat the issue through a county-wide 10-year plan with a goal to end homelessness in the area. The League of Women's Voters of Athens County is sponsoring a discussion on the issue. It will take place Wednesday at 6:30 at the Athens Community Center. The discussion is free and open to the public. And the race for Nelsonville City Manager is narrowing down. Now only 4 candidates remain. 13 people applied for the city manager position. Timothy Boland of Lewis Center, Ron Lucas of Athens, Gary Edwards of Nelsonville, and Steve DeBoll of Reynoldsburg will now battle it out. Whoever is elected will replace current city manager Mark Hall. Hall has served as manager since July 2012. He will remain on the city board until the city can find what he calls a suitable replacement. A Marietta State trooper accused of stalking and having an affair with a fellow officer's wife is now facing felony charges. Eschlager has been charged with felony menacing and an abduction count for allegedly stopping the woman he had an affair with for speeding. He was fired from his job back in February. His attorney says the woman is not credible because she continued having contact with Eschlager after the affair ended and actually joined him on a cruise. Eschlager has been under home confinement. And the search for a new Circleville City School Superintendent continues with candidate interviews next week. Interim Superintendent John Edgar says there are currently 16 applications for the post. The school board hopes to narrow the options to 2 or 3 candidates next week. The board plans to announce the new superintendent May 11th. The new superintendent will be in place by July. And today turned out to be a beautiful and sunny day, but will the nice weather stick around for the weekend? Let's take it over to WOUB's forecaster, Matt Thigpen. Hey, Matt.
Well, Katie, I think it should stay around a dry weather at least. It's going to be pretty windy this weekend, especially on Saturday. Right now in Athens, we have 64 degrees, winds out of the west at 12 miles per hour, and we see those gusts. Man, they're up there to 24 miles per hour. And as we take a look at our right now regionals, 58 in Columbus, upper 60s to the south, 58 in Chillicothe, 60 in New Lex, and we have our freeze watch for the main part of our area Sunday from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Again, That's Sunday from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. And for our western counties, that wind advisory is Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's wind gusts from 30 miles per hour to 40 miles per hour, Katie.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. And we have new details on the body found in the Scioto River in Columbus earlier this week. The body has been identified as Joey LaBute Jr. And now Franklin County's coroner is saying there is a possibility that LaBute was dead before he went into the water. According to the coroner, more medical and toxicology tests are needed to determine what caused LaBute's death. But the autopsy shows no external traumatic injuries. It could take weeks to get further test results. LaBute was reported missing on March 5th. He was last seen at a bar in Short North. And in West Virginia, layoffs in the coal industry have now taken a toll on the state's economy. A new report shows West Virginia is in an economic recession. The Mountain States Business Index has found that West Virginia has seen deterioration in economic activities since the spring of 2015. The index combines 7 economic indicators to measure the expected swings in the state's economic activity. The director of West Virginia University's Bureau of Business and Economic Research says the state's recession is expected to continue into the summer. And also in West Virginia, the deadline for Governor Earl Ray Tomblin to sign or veto bills from this year's legislative season is coming up. Friday is the last day that Tomblin can act on the few bills still in limbo. One bill would require both voters to show ID at the polls, with some exceptions, and would automatically register people to vote when they get driver's license or IDs. Another would let lottery winners stay anonymous, and an education measure would let schools be in session for the equivalent of 180 days instead of 180 separate days. The governor can sign bills into law, veto them, or let them become a law without his signature. And still ahead on Newswatch, lawmakers are continuing to work to combat the Zika virus. More on the steps officials are taking, and diplomats from around the globe are trying to tackle the problem of nuclear security. These stories and more when Newswatch returns. Stay with us.
Really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Around the world today was the second and final day of the Nuclear Security Summit in Washington, D.C., where the U.S. and a large number of world leaders met to discuss how to prevent nuclear materials from falling into the wrong hands. Scott McLean reports.
This is a perfect example of a 21st century security challenge that no one nation can solve alone. To tackle that challenge, President Obama hosted more than 50 world leaders in Washington, D.C. this week for the 4th Nuclear Security Summit, with leaders noting that efforts to reduce and protect nuclear materials have been made.
The summit is about nuclear security, and everybody is very clearly focused on that.
The amount of nuclear material in circulation continues to decline.
And highlighting a new agreement.
102 nations have now ratified a key treaty
that Obama said would make it easier for nations to work together in the event of the theft of nuclear materials or an attack on a nuclear facility. But President Obama said the world cannot be complacent about nuclear safety and fears that terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda are trying to obtain nuclear weapons overshadowed the summit.
There is no doubt that if these madmen ever got their hands on a nuclear bomb or nuclear material, they most certainly would use it to kill as many innocent people as possible.
The vicious terrorist acts in Brussels last week only underscore the importance of the NSS process.
In fact, world leaders devoted an entire session Friday to discuss how to counter nuclear terrorism.
The single most effective defense against nuclear terrorism is fully securing this material so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands in the first place.
In Washington, I'm Scott McLean.
Also today, the White House assembled into Atlanta on how to tackle the Zika virus. Thomas Frieden is the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. He says the enthusiasm they've seen in response to Zika underscores the urgency of the situation.
There are many things at this summit that will be decided, determined, and moved forward in terms of state and localities doing more. But at the end, it's really important that we have the resources that we need to respond effectively.
The House has requested $1.9 billion from Congress in the fight against Zika in the U.S. and overseas. Congressional Republicans have suggested leftover Ebola funding to be used instead. The Zika virus has been linked to devastating birth defects. Several star soccer players on the U.S. women's national team have filed a lawsuit demanding equal pay. The suit was filed on behalf of the entire team against the U.S. Soccer Federation by 5 players. The team sometimes earns between a half and a quarter of what the men take home, depending on bonuses. The U.S. women's team brings in more money for U.S. soccer. Last year alone, it was $20 million more than the men. U.S. Soccer released a statement yesterday saying, quote, its efforts to be advocates for women's soccer are unwavering. The group also said it will negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement for the women's team at the end of 2016. And the U.S. economy picked up 215 jobs in March. That beats estimates by economists surveyed by CNNMoney.com, who predicted there would be 199,000 new jobs. But wages only grew 2.3% compared to this time last year. Wage growth started to pick up last fall but lost momentum in February and March. The unemployment rate rose from 4.9% to 5% last month. And on Wall Street today, stocks ended on a high note after reports of March jobs growth. Here's a look at stocks of local interest. And coming up on Newswatch, the obesity epidemic is continuing to rise. That story still ahead.
And these windy conditions will lead to cool temps, and we'll find out when this wind will stop in my extended forecast.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. Ohio Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. We have our wind advisory that'll go into effect tomorrow for our western counties. Most of these counties over here up in Columbus and western Ohio mainly. And that is from Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That'll be 30 miles per hour to 40 miles per hour. And then we have our freeze watch down in our main counties and into West Virginia and southern Ohio and western West Virginia. There we go. For our watches and warnings. As we take a look right now for Athens, right now we have 64 degrees. Those freezing conditions are moving in. And then it's dew point at 31 degrees. Really dry air moving in after those scattered showers this week. And for our almanac for the day, we did hit 70 degrees earlier today. 56 for our low. Right about normal for our low. Actually, we're not. Sorry about that. 59 for our high for our normal. And we're gaining our 12 hours of sunlight down here, sunrise and sunset, 7 o'clock a.m. and p.m. now. As we take a look around the region at our right now temperatures, 60 in New Lex, 58 in Columbus, 67 in our warmer spot down here in Ironton, and up the mountains, 67s in Ripley, Marietta, and New Martinsville. As we look at tomorrow for Athens, we'll see that it's 53 degrees, partly cloudy, breezy conditions. PM showers will move in about 4 or 5 p.m. Won't mess up any of your plans. They'll be scattered here and about. Those winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, sustained 20 to 30 here in the Athens area. For tomorrow around our region, we have 49 in New Lex, 53 in Athens, partly cloudy skies, breezy conditions for most of our region, 49 here up in Cambridge at our cooler location. Tonight in Athens will stay dry, cloudy, and breezy, 41 degrees as we see those clouds increase through the night. For tonight's lows, 38 in Columbus, 43 down here in Ironton, cloudy skies. As the sun goes down, those clouds will start to increase with our second wave of moisture coming through, bring us a little bit of moisture, mainly up into the Columbus area, scattered showers, and it won't make it here into western Ohio. Or eastern Ohio, I'm sorry. Saturday, we have 30% chance of rain. Again, that's 4 p.m., breezy conditions. That wind advisory goes into effect 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., gusty winds in our western counties. Sunday is our best day, I think, out of our day planner. 50 degrees, sunny skies, bright and sunny. Need those sunglasses. Great day to take a walk. Monday, not so much. Back to work, rainy conditions. 47 on Tuesday. We'll go in and out of rain throughout our work week, and we'll end the work week again. We'll start a new week, 48 degrees Friday, dry skies. Katie?
All right, little cold weather this weekend, but I'll take the dry weather. Thanks a lot, Matt. And a new report is taking a hard look at where growing obesity rates around the planet are heading. And the news is especially bad for the United States. Seth Kovar has more in today's Health Minute.
The obesity epidemic has become a global problem, and it's much worse than many thought. According to a study published in The Lancet, 1 in 5 people around the world will be obese by 2025. That breaks down to 18% of men and 21% of women, according to the report. In reaching their conclusions, researchers looked at body mass index trends in nearly 200 countries from 1975 to 2014. The study found over the past 4 decades, global obesity has tripled for men and doubled for women. The United States takes the cake, with the largest percentage of its population being obese by 2025. More than 1 in 4 severely obese men and almost 1 in 5 women live in the U.S. And what percentage chance does the U.S. have to stop the rise in obesity? 0, according to the report's senior author. The planet is moving towards a new reality where there are more obese people than underweight ones. For today's Health Minute, I'm Seth Kovar.
I'm Griffin Ratcliffe. Haley Hrenowich is looking to go back-to-back at a tournament. See where. Also, see how both the Bobcats softball and baseball teams are doing in David Letterman's alma mater. Next on Newswatch.
Really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. I'm Griffin Ratcliffe. The Lady Cats started their series off in Muncie, Indiana with a loss over the Lady Cardinals. It was a slow defensive game with Ball State scoring in the first inning, but from that inning, no one scored until the top of the fifth, with Alex Day scoring from third. The Lady Cardinals were led by pitcher Nicole Steinbach, who only allowed 4 hits and 1 earned run. The Bobcats are able to get some production with pitcher Savannah Jo Dorsey with 9 strikeouts. Ohio will have a doubleheader tomorrow to try and redeem itself in Muncie. And now over to the boys, where they also just finished their game against Ball State. The Bats were working for both squads with over 13 runs scored. Ball State's Alex Maloney led the Cardinals with 3 RBIs, and the Bobcats held a 6-3 run in the 7th inning until the 7th inning when the Cardinals put up 3 runs to send it into extra innings. Ohio's Ty Black started it off with an error where he scored on an error. And then the Bobcats took off from there and they scored another 5 runs. And the Bobcats now will play Ball State Saturday and Sunday in hopes of sweeping the Cardinals. The women's golf team is looking to have a familiar finish in Richmond, Kentucky, after the Lady Cats took second and Haley Hrenowich won the outright title. The golfers started this tournament this morning with the Cats looking for Hrenowich and Angela Codian to have another good performance. Through one round, Hrenowich put in 3 birdies and finished just 2 over par. Angela Codian, the other key for the women's team, also put in a good run with 6 over par. The tournament will continue on Saturday with another 36 holes to finish out the Classic. Now let's take a look at other sports that the Bobcats will be playing in this week. Some local teams and some well-known teams from around the area will be traveling to Athens for the Cherry Blossom Invitational. With Mom's Weekend happening, the Bobcats are looking for a pretty decent crowd. And the men's golf team will be in Bloomington, Indiana for the Hoosier Invitational on Saturday. And Sunday, the Bobcat golfers have been struggling lately, only finishing 12th and 13th in the month of March. LeBron James, he needed 3 points to pass Dominique Wilkins on the all-time scoring list. The 25-point-per-game scorer only took 8 minutes to get the feat, and then after the accomplishment, the Cavs took their focus on beating the Nets, and they did it well with a 20-point victory. The Cavaliers still remain atop the Eastern Conference. The Atlanta Hawks will host the Cavaliers tonight at Phillips Arena at 8, and the Hawks are also locked in the playoffs but are still fighting for that home court advantage in the playoffs. With the season dwindling down, the Columbus Blue Jackets are just hoping for the season just to end. Once again, the Blue Jackets were playing catch-up and saw a 3-1 deficit at the end of the first period. Once they finally caught up in the third, Anders Lee scored the game-winning goal 5 minutes into the third for the Islanders. The loss makes it a 39 loss in regular season play for the Blue Jackets. They're the only team in the division with a below 500 record. I'm Griffin Ratcliffe, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Katie.
Not a good season for the Blue Jackets. Thanks a lot. And an unusual opportunity for Republican National Convention delegates and their families. Now, this is no April Fool's joke. You can stay in the childhood home of the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, where it's believed his first victim was killed and dismembered and scattered on the property. The RNC will take place in Cleveland July 18th to the 21st. The home is in Bath Township in suburban Akron, about a 30-minute drive from Cleveland. The 3-bedroom house is offered for rent during the RNC by a realty company that's the approved housing for the provider of the convention. The cost, $8,000. Matt, I think you would have to pay me $8,000 to even stay there. Maybe even consider it. What do you think?
Well, Katie, man, I might stay there. I don't know. The wind's blowing me away today, but hey, 53 for tomorrow. Breezy conditions. Bringing in that pollen, sniffling and sneezing out there, it won't get any better this weekend. I am so sorry. That rain washes it all out, which is great. But Saturday and Sunday, we have sunny skies to bring that pollen back up, all those flowers blooming. It's 50 for Sunday. As we look again at our watches and warnings, wind advisory to our west, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, and our frost advisory, bring those plants in to our main counties. Even I heard there's a freeze watch to our west now. Bring those plants in everywhere. Don't want those plants to die. It's only the beginning of the season. And as we look at our extended forecast one more time, 53 for Saturday, 50 on Sunday, 59 on Monday with that rain moving in, and Tuesday, 47, sunny skies. Wednesday and Thursday, next chances for rain, and Friday, dry conditions for the next weekend.
Your plants. Thanks a lot, Matt. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Katie Anderson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.